All right, there we go. Hello, everybody. Yes, it's your good friend Plausible here, and can you believe it? I've got theme music now. I'm so excited. First time for everything, I guess, just to go to show how cheap we are here at Plausible Movie Reviews. Yes, I am here today to give you a quick review of the forgotten classic game, Max Payne 2: The Fall of Max Payne. Just so you know, this review will also contain spoilers about what happened in the game and some of the more mysterious elements of it. Because this one's more confusing, more convoluted. It was hard to follow exactly what was happening with Max Payne 2. Pretty much it's the same game. You run, you shoot everything, just like in Max Payne. This one takes place after the events of Max Payne. Alfred Woden was true to his word. He got Max Payne off the hook, so Max Payne was able to go back to work as a cop in the NYPD, despite the fact that he gave them a run. And he now works under Chief Bavura, despite the fact that Chief Bavura was chasing him in Max Payne 1. So it's all crazy stuff. But you know what? It's a conspiracy story. It's noir. It's detective stuff. It's all good. So basically, Max Payne is back to work in the NYPD. He's trying to get his life back together, but he's still internally crashing. I mean, basically, this is a man who's already coming unglued. Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne, is the one where he finally does completely fall apart. All right, that's the idea. It starts off with him waking up in the hospital. So the whole thing is told in flashback, and actually, the whole thing starts with him in a mansion with some voices, and him with the normal graphic novel, the normal noir poetry and narration, I should say. But you continue with you in a hospital. You're damaged. You start running around, and they start teasing you with a whole bunch of ideas of, like, what does that mean, and why am I hearing this voices? Everything connects. If you've ever played the game more than once, you'll notice that everything they say connects with everything that's going to happen, because it's a flashback. And it's a flashback within a flashback, so that makes it more interesting. It starts off, the real story starts off with him going to one of Vladimir Lem's warehouses, where his gun lady, the lady who makes a gunsmith, is under attack, and he has to go save her. Unfortunately, he doesn't. That's not really a spoiler. That's just the beginning of the story, But you have the conspiracy. You have the story already. A group of men known as the Cleaners are attacking Vladimir Lem's facilities. And they're apparently you're supposed to get the idea that they're led by Vinny Gognitti. Okay, now if you remember him from Max Payne 1, first off, you thought he died, but he really didn't die. Vinny Gognitti actually survived, apparently, and is now, he's actually running just a car. He's somewhat legit. But yeah, Vinny Gognitti is considered to be the mastermind behind this. He's running the Cleaners, and they're going after Vladimir Lem, because they're trying to destroy the competition, and that's the main theme. It's not long before Mona Sachs, who we know survived somehow in Max Payne Part 1, she comes back. Everyone comes back almost, those who didn't die, I should say. And now it turns out there's a hit out for Max Payne as well. Nobody knows who is doing it or why. All we know is that the main villain so far is the Cleaners. Now, from here, this is where the spoilers will come into play, all right? Basically, what's happening is that Vladimir Lem is behind the whole thing. He's killing everyone in his past to get a fresh start. One of the things that they talked about in Part 2 that they didn't really bring up in Part 1 was that Vladimir Lem was the student and pupil of Alfred Woden, who was the main helper of Max Payne. He's the one who guided Max Payne, told him who his real enemy was, got Max Payne to kill Horn in Part 1. Now, Vladimir Lem wants to take over. He wants to be in charge. But in order to do that, this inner circle gets to become in civil war. Excuse me. Where basically there's a wooden cap, and a Vladimir Lem cap. Now you might be wondering, why am I bringing this up? Because this is the parts of confusion that a lot of people get. I know I had it for the longest time when it came to Max Payne 2. Everyone was saying how Mona Sachs was on Vladimir Lem's side, and how this group was on their side, and that group was on this side. Also, when Max Payne is attacking the warehouse of the cleaners, all of a sudden he runs into these guys wearing masks and he has to kill them because everybody's killing everybody. But he asks a good question. Who are those guys? Why are they here? And why are they wearing masks? This is the cleaners' domain. They don't have to wear disguises here, but why is this group wearing disguises? Well, the cleaners work for Vladimir Lem, though there are other assassins who are like the cleaners who work for Woden, and they are in a civil war. They're killing each other to find out who can come out on top. Mona Sax is part of the same crew. However, she is on Woden's side. She doesn't like Vladimir Lem. As a matter of fact, there's a part where she shoots him in the arm. You don't see this actually. You see it in Max's imagination as he puts the pieces together. She was not going to join with Vladimir Lem. She wanted to be with Woden, so because she didn't trust Vladimir Lem, so she shot him. And this civil war gets Max Payne caught in the middle because Vladimir Lem has no choice but to shoot Mona Sax. And because he has to shoot Mona Sax, he now has to kill Max Payne because Max Payne would never let something go. It was this huge question of, did Max Payne and Mona Sax actually love each other? I'll give it away, guys. Yes, apparently they loved each other, okay? They were both of the same, cut from the same cloth type of thing. They were both these hard-nosed, life is rough, we're going to take it out anyway, kind of killers and stuff like that. Still good guys, though, apparently. Now, there's one main thing I got to say about Max Payne 2, and that is, don't rush the game the second time around. Stick around, watch TV. Kill people in the room, but watch TV. They have 3 hilarious stories happening as the game progresses and time goes on. You get to watch the whole story. There's Lords and Ladies, which I never watch. It's just all they say is "my lord, my lady, my lord, my lady," but they do it enough times that it's funny. I never get the idea of the story. Then there's Address Unknown. In Address Unknown, you have the story of this guy who basically is trying to hunt a serial killer who took his girlfriend. I'll give away the spoiler of that one too, because there's the Address Unknown follows a lot of what happened in Max Payne 1. They keep repeating the things of, the flesh of fallen angels, and the psychoticness about one person's killing. They have a lot of the evil that was in Max Payne 1 has now become a movie in Max Payne 2. And the funny thing is, they give you the spoiler in it. There's this one guy talking in this funhouse. He's talking about, this was the best series ever, and the villain's name was John Muir, because in reality it was a multiple personality thing. The hero was the villain with his multiple personality, and in it he said, look, he got the name because when he was in the bathroom he was looking in the mirror. Get it? He's in the John and he's looking in the mirror. John Muir. Worst joke ever, but for some reason it's funny, Max Payne 2 would have been great because ultimately they really fixed a lot of things. You had your own button for the grenade. You could change guns like always before, carry as many guns as you wanted like before, limited ammo. Everything was the same. Maybe that was one of the problems with Max Payne 2. It was just too much of the same. But that wasn't really a bad thing. They made some changes here. They gave you a different way of shooting. You ran around, a few of the buttons changed, but the story is the same, the concept's the same, the basic moving around is the same, and it was a great game. I recommend playing it. I think it was worthy. If you liked Max Payne 1, there's no reason why you shouldn't like Max Payne 2. That being said, just expect it to be very much the same. Next up, we're going to be doing Max Payne 3, a game I finally beat, but in the meantime, guys, we'll see you in the theaters.